is there Jesus is at?
Get it.
Young man. Are you busy?
Sean, look behind you. Look over here.
Is your name Sean? Sean, well, greetings to you. Maybe Jehovah's blessing be upon you all. Allow me, please, to introduce myself. My name is Azariah. I've lived a long life, and I'd like to tell you a few things about some of the things that happened to me. Now let me see, it was many years ago that I was taken from my home in Israel. There was a very mean king in Babylon. His name was Nebuchadnezzar. He took me and many of my friends when we were just little boys. Let's see. That's right. I was there with Hananiah, Michelle, and Daniel. We were close friends. We were just little boys, though. Young man, do you have the scroll of Daniel with you? Find the scroll of Daniel and look in the first chapter, and please read for me what you find. Let's see, in verses 3, 4, and 7. That would be right.
First chapter of Daniel.
That's it. In the scroll of Daniel,
It was 7.
chapter 1. And would you please read about what happened to me and my friends in verses 3, 4, and 7.
It says, Then the king said to Ashkenaz, his chief court official, to bring some of the Israel, to bring some of the sons of Israel, and of the royal offspring, and of the nobles, children, in whom there was no defect, and in whom there was no defect at all, but good in appearance, and having insight into all wisdom, and being acquainted with knowledge, and having discernment of what is known, in whom also there was ability. There was also in whom also there was ability to stand in the palace of the king, and to teach him the writing and the tongue of the Chaldeans. And verse 7 it says, and to them the principal court official went assigning names. So he assigned Daniel the name of
Belteshazzar.
Belteshazzar, and Hananiah, Shadrach, and Meshach, and Azariah, and Abednego.
That's right, young man. Very good. Well read. That's what the Babylonians called it. Abednego. I tell you, young man, we never use those names among ourselves. Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and myself, we always use the names our parents gave us. Did you know the Babylonians wanted us to think like them?
I did not know.
They wanted us even to eat their food. Now, let me tell you, when we were very little boys, our parents taught us at home what Jehovah wanted. They said that we must pay attention, because one day they might not be there. And you well believe it, my man. There came came a day when the Babylonians took us away, far away from our homes. We never saw our parents again. But did you know that everything our parents told us, we did just so? Open up the scroll of Daniel one more time. Now please read verse 5 and 8 of the first chapter. And it will tell you one situation where we had to remember what our parents told us. Please read verse 5 and 8.
Furthermore, to them the king appointed a daily allowance from the delicacies of Canaan, from his drinking wine, to nourish them for 3 years. That at the end of these we might stand before the king. Now there happened to be, but Daniel determined in his heart that he would not pollute himself with the delicacies of the king and with his drinking wine, and he kept requesting of the principal court official that he might not pollute himself.
Oh, that's right, yes. The king put food out for us to eat. Lobster, crocodile, shrimp, lion, shrimp and catfish, and snakes and monkeys. Oh, we knew that it would displease Jehovah if we ate those foods. So Daniel talked to the God and said, please give us vegetables. Do you know Jehovah blessed us by being obedient even when our parents were not there?
I did not know.
Oh, yes. In fact, Daniel, Mishael, Hananiah, and myself were blessed with the position of being heads over the jurisdictional district over Babylon. That's how Jehovah blesses people who are obedient even when their parents are not there. Oh yes, let me see. I wanted to tell you one more thing before I had to go back to the place that smells like the cedars of Lebanon. Let's see. We were growing up a little bit more, and the king set forth an order for all his rulers to go to the south of Babylon, to a big plain called Dura. Have you heard of that?
I did not.
Oh, wow. On the plain of Dura, the king had set up a massive sign, a thing to worship. Now, Daniel and my friends, we knew that was not right. As servants of the true God, we would not bow down to this national symbol. However, the king's order was, everyone must bow down. We did not. And it was reported to the king, and he was very angry. So he gave us one more chance. He said, when you hear the music play, by order of the king, you must bow down and worship the national symbol. We were not afraid of the king. In fact, we knew that we had to give pure worship to Jehovah God, exclusively devotion to him. Now, when the king heard for a second time, when the music played and we did not bow down, do you know what happened? Oh, I shall have to tell you. The king was very mean. And so he had a furnace where he would put everyone that he disliked. And we knew that he disliked us for not bowing down to the national symbol. In fact, it was known that the king turned up the heat 7 times more than usual. And he said, I am going to throw you into the furnace, and you shall die for disobedience. Well, Daniel and my friends looked at each other, and we said, well, if that is to be, then that is to be. But if Jehovah chose to save us, then the king should know it is Jehovah God we worship and not any other gods. Why don't you open the scroll of Daniel one more time to the 3rd chapter. Let's see, verses 28 and 29. Why don't you turn there and read for me the results of our putting faith in Jehovah.
Nebuchadnezzar was answering and saying, blessed by the God of Shadrach, Meshach, blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who sent his angel and rescued his servants that trusted in him, and that changed the real word of the king and gave others over their bodies, that nation they would not serve and worship, and would not worship any God at all except their own. And from me and order in doing pursuit that any people, national group, or language that says anything wrong against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego should be dismembered, and its house should be turned into a public private prison. For so much as there does not exist another God that is able to deliver like this.
Can you imagine that? A pagan king, head of a world power, now chooses to praise the true God. Now remember, the king was so angry that he wouldn't bow down to his image, that he made the furnace hot, 7 times hotter than usual. Now, the men that grabbed hold of us and threw us into the furnace, they burned up instantly and died. And when the king looked into the furnace, he saw Daniel, Mishael, myself, and my companion, and said, I see another being in there. Who is that? A 4th one. He did not know that it was an angel of the true God protecting us. Can you imagine that? Here we are, far away from our parents, and we're trying to be good and obedient to Jehovah God, and He protected us. He saved us out of the fire. He saved us from the anger of the king, and in fact the king, because he saw that we were faithful to our God, praised Jehovah God the Almighty. So young man, when you're away from your mother and father, when you're all alone, never fear what people can do. In fact, know that the true God can even send an angel down to protect you, so that you can be faithful to Him even when you're all alone. Well, thank you for listening to me. I truly appreciate this opportunity to speak to you. And the owner of this house is going to put me back into the little room where all the clothes are, and it smells of Lebanon. I do not understand it. He has a strange dialect. But it's so nice to speak to you. Good evening.